I see many people are asking and wondering, should I invest in stocks, crypto, or both? What up, you got Mr. Smith, point five of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and in this brief video, I'm gonna just kind of talk about if a person should invest in stocks, crypto, or both. Now, I will say this: I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take anything that I say as financial advice, but just sometimes got to weigh out your options in terms of how you want to invest. And you just have to listen to your inner spirit. You got to listen to your gut, because that's the main person you need to be listening to in the first place. That's the main energy you need to be tapped into. You may watch a video of myself or some of the other people who are sharing great valuable information, and you may get some good things out of it. But what you need to do on the back end of that is do what feels right to you. Now, I'm not saying ponder so long that you never take any action. I'm not saying that. That's not going to get you anywhere anytime soon. But what I am saying is this: you can take in information from different people, but understand and be able to always discern for yourself and determine whether or not you want to move forward with that advice. Because not all advice is good advice, no matter who it's coming from. I was looking at some stats, and I'm going to do a video on it. It probably won't be on this platform. It might be in the form of a shorts. But I was looking at some stats about gold. And a lot of people were pushing the narrative of buy gold, buy gold. Many of them are gurus that you have a ton of respect for. And I did a video, and it didn't get a lot of action. It had about 9 views. I may try to link it or whatever, but it had a small amount of views. But I was just talking about how I didn't think gold was necessarily a good investment, like people were saying. And people say it all the time. I read Tony Robbins' Money book. It's mentioned in there, and different gurus are saying that. And, Robert Kiyosaki, he's saying it all the time. But right now, during this time, at the time of this recording in 2021, gold isn't even outpacing inflation. And a lot of times they say that you invest to get a hedge on inflation, meaning you want to outpace the cost of goods and services going up. They say gold is like -3 in comparison to inflation. It even had a list of things that was outperforming gold. And it had things like copper. It had a couple other things. I should pull out the list. I got to now. I got to pull out the list. But you're going to be surprised what was on the top of this list that was outpacing it, to the point where if a person would have at least invested, if a person would have invested in that, they would have outpaced gold. And I'm going to get to the point about stocks, crypto, or both. But I just want you to understand that not all advice is good advice, no matter who it come from. You got to think. And basically, copper did better than gold. Soybeans, iron, nickel, crude, steel. And what was at the top of this list was corn. Corn outpaced inflation more than gold did. Now, this is no knock to gold, because gold is a beautiful thing. I love gold. And, and it has other benefits. But a lot of times people try to paint the picture as though gold is scarce, as if gold isn't available in abundance. And it's that scarcity that makes a person feel as though it's a great hedge against inflation. And then they feel as though that's God's money. At one point, people use gold for currency. But we're in a day and age now, I don't see people carrying that around in order to leverage that as currency. And a lot of people who are investing in gold now never even touching the gold, seeing the gold. They just buying into something that's supposed to be a hedge against the market. So you got to think about all of those things, because gold is not as scarce as people think. I think we live in a world of abundance. I think it's untapped gold, untouched gold that people haven't tapped into just yet, just like diamonds and anything else. So once you understand that, and I know you probably think, what does that have to do with, should I invest in gold? Should I invest in crypto, stocks, or both? It has everything to do with it, because the fact that you're asking yourself that question says that you're hearing different things from different people, and you don't know how to decide for yourself on which one you should do, or if you should do both. So now let's get into it. Now, in a nutshell, I feel as though even though you should do what you feel works best for you, diversification has its benefits, because when it comes to minimizing your risk, diversification protects you. So I will say that, meaning that you might want to do both, or in fact, you do want to do both. Some stocks, that you feel good about, some crypto that you feel good about. You want to do both, in my opinion. However, I'm not mad at you if you decide to go all in on something else, because as it relates to crypto right now, yes, it's volatile, but the most money is made during things or in times when it's volatile. Now, you want to educate yourself. You want to know when to get in, when to get out, because you don't want to just buy into it because it's hyped up right now and everybody's talking about it, because you might be buying in at the high. You might be buying in when it costs the most. You want to get in when not a lot of people are talking about it. You want to get in at a low price. You want to get in at a dip due to the fact that it heightens your rate of return on your investment. That's with stocks. That's with crypto as well. Now, volatility just means that it's a lot of buying and selling going on. It's a lot of pumps going on. But if you understand how to maneuver, then you can at least position yourself to grow your money. And the rate of return as it relates to crypto is strongly outpacing, inflation, strongly outpacing stocks right now. How long will that continue? I don't know. Is every crypto a good investment? Absolutely not. Is every stock a good investment? Absolutely not. And even if the stock has a great track record, that doesn't mean it's the best investment. So you got to understand that. And why am I saying that? Because it could be a stock that has a great track record, and it can cost X amount of money in order to buy it. And say that X amount was 1,000 plus. That might not be the best way for you to invest your money. Because if you think about your money doubling, it may take longer for that $1,000 stock to turn to $2,000 to a $2,000 stock, hence doubling your money. It may take longer for that stock to do that versus a stock going from $10 to $20, doubling your money. Both doubled your money, but one is 9 times out of 10 gonna take longer to do. Think about crypto. In crypto, 1 penny turning into 2 pennies is still a double up. So you gotta understand that. And once you understand that it works on percentages, then you see, oh, I could possibly grow my money a lot faster in this space. And I'm not mad at the person who says they want to go all in on it, because diversification, even though it protects you, for those people who went all in on something, whether it's on their craft, whether it's on their gift, whether it's on their business, whether it's on investing, they reap the benefits on a higher level because they did not diversify. Now, once they get or amass a certain amount of wealth, they tend to diversify to protect what they've already built. So diversification has layers to it. You want to do it, but sometimes the people who preach it the most are ones who double down on something, then diversify for protection to safely guard their money. So I recommend doing both, but I recommend you definitely do what you feel is best for you. Don't take my advice as law, or anybody else's for that matter, and not all advice is good advice, and pay attention to what they're saying and determine whether or not you feel is good for you. So that's my spiel. Hopefully you got some value out of this. Hopefully this at least got you a different perspective that you didn't expect, but you appreciate getting. That's all I got. Mr. Smith signing out. Salute.